do that recap so we can start playing the game that we all came here to play. Some of us further than others.
Scott went down to his annoying bitch of a grandmother.
Jesus.
What? No.
Anyway.
No.
Put a muffler on her car.
That a cover of The Devil Went Down the George? DB?
Yeah.
You got this, right?
Are you guys done talking so that I can do the recap?
Yep.
Excellent. Is the stream ready?
Stream is up and going. Yeah, we're live.
Please tell me that just started.
Mostly.
I mean, for the sake of literally anybody that wants to listen to this, I hope so.
Yeah, same.
So last week, we started out outside of Brookhaven, where we were going to search for the Regent, because that is where Ulfgar had received word from the Drow Queen that the Regent had been hiding. And when we had gotten there, there was a large translucent orange dome sort of surrounding the whole city with a bunch of mages actively holding up the wall. But Durkar, with Val's planar dagger, stabbed the barrier and broke it, blowing us all backwards and doing a bunch of crazy shit, including knocking out like all of the mages that were holding up the wall. So we all rushed in before anything else crazy at the boundary happened. I think Gidget and I tried to resuscitate Michael and dispel the magic on the collar of Raphael, but neither one of us were successful. So we just kind of dragged them into another building to keep them safe while we went to go face the Regent, which we did immediately after that. We ran to the center of the city where there was a giant black sword obelisk thing, but not really an obelisk, more just like a giant towering column of black stone that the Regent was trying to jam his sword into. That didn't sound right. He had the fourth sword in the set that Omega has, or rather Ulfgar has, that either belongs and or was created to and by the Drow Queen. I don't necessarily recall all the specifics, but the swords that, or rather the sword that Ulfgar was sent to collect. And so we we engaged the Regent and all of his cronies. And though I don't really know what they were, these hooded figures that were with the Regent, they really didn't put up much fight after standing against the wrath of Durkar, as well as a, what was it, Sickening Radiance or something like that?
Yep,
a very
Sickening
large
Radiance.
AoE spell that took out a bunch of them at once, and allowed us to focus our fire on the Regent fairly effectively, and he went down to, I think it was Gidget's spiritual weapon that ended up doing it.
Yep, big ol' honey dipper. Smash his fucking head in.
So, yeah, we finally killed the Regent. A year in the making, and we finally did it. But afterwards, all of the mages that were sort of enslaved by these collars seemed to be freed. They all lost the collars and are now recovering from the various things that happened to them while they were controlled. And it was also revealed that although we only talked to Michael and Raphael because they're the two that we know, it seems like everybody sort of has amnesia from the point that that they were captured to, during this whole time. Maybe even a little bit before that, because like Michael didn't remember his time with the party. So yeah, people seem to be affected by some sort of magical amnesia surrounding their time being captured. But yeah, it's pretty much where we left off. We had a short conversation with the two elder grayscales, pretty much just enough to know that, they don't really remember much of anything, and that they're probably going to live. And I think where we left off was with the looting of the regent's body, although I think that was mostly just Gabriel wanting to get to that. Oh, and yeah, we recovered the fourth and final sword that Ulfgar needed. So what comes of that, I'm sure we will probably see relatively soon, hopefully. And hopefully it doesn't kill us.
Yeah,
So,
sounds about right.
so yeah, looting in pockets.
Awesome. So
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we still have the problem of the giant pillar.
Yeah, I don't think we've addressed that yet.
And the regent had been like stabbing his sword into. Green
Oh yeah, there was like
rock.
a giant, what was it, like a green oval stone and inlaid into the giant stone pillar, and apparently we're not supposed to forget the treant.
Was it like one of those Indiana Jones like what was that? The like temple something, those like stones that they laid in the large rocks?
Yeah, I mean it's loosely that shape, but oh wait, are you talking the receptacle for the stones?
The one that like they started off in, which is like it was
Yeah,
more of an altar as opposed to like a perfect fit kind of thing.
it's a bit like that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good analogy. Yeah. So you're looting his pockets. You find 50 platinum.
Oh shit.
You find a very ornate dagger.
Ooh. Dibs.
Bitch.
You
You
find
got the last one.
I know.
like a notebook in his breast pocket. You find an amulet around his neck with a picture of his son in it. You find a note with a black rose on it. It seems to be an unfinished order to his men to bring more mages. See. I think that's all of it. I mean, other than obviously the sword.
Right.
Which I believe I jumped on.
Yeah, you gobbled that down real fast.
Well, when we get a moment, I will distribute the platinum between us. So that should be, what, 10 apiece, because there's 5 of us?
Uh-huh. Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna identify the sword, walk up to Ulfgar, and ask, Can I touch that?
So you're identifying it?
Yes.
Okay. I think
If
you need to
Wolfguard
touch it
allows
to
it.
identify it, though.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to.
So you're gonna have to. You're
Gonna
gonna have to
ask.
You're gonna have to fight Ulfgar to
Yeah,
touch
I
it.
just
Yeah,
said I'm
essentially.
gonna ask Ulfgar if I can touch that. Ulfgar.
Hey, Ulfgar, can I?
Yeah.
Can I?
Okay,
can I
awesome.
touch it?
Cool, I'm touching it. I'm identifying it.
Yeah, so it's let me think. Does that give you like the name? I assume it probably does.
Let me just see real quick. I don't. It just gives like the properties and what kind of spell is being used on it. How to use it, whether it
Right.
requires attunement, how many charges, if any.
Okay. So it does require attunement. Though if you're already attuned to any of the other swords, you don't need to attune to it.
Sick.
It is whoever is holding that sword takes half damage from all swords.
Oh fuck.
And is entirely immune to the effects and damage from the other 3 swords.
Dope.
Oh wow.
Which unfortunately no one got to see in effect because they were never used against the Regent.
Yeah.
But we'll just assume
Killed him too fast.
that happened at some point.
I'm not immune to a commodity.
Certainly
It's also a +3 sword.
not.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
You
just
made
dropping,
Ulfgar a god.
But the sword's not supposed to be for him, right?
I mean, fuck the Raven Queen. We can do what we want.
She's
Not the Raven Queen. The
Gosh,
Drow Queen.
Liam.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I mean,
Shit
hey,
together.
still.
Drow Queen. What's the
Wow.
Hey,
name?
Raven Queen, if
Wow.
you're listening to this, fuck you too.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
not the
We're
Raven
coming
Queen.
for you.
She's cool. I like the Raven Queen. Don't say that.
Fucking spoilers.
Fuck the Drow Queen.
Wow. Yeah. But let me think. There's a little bit more to it as well.
It also gives you 8 uncurable diseases.
Huh.
But
The-
you're immortal, so you have to suffer forever.
The +3 only comes into effect with the other 3 swords attached to it.
Oh my
Attached.
god. Is it like a utility hellsword? You lock them in at the base?
No, it's more like a boy. It's not like that, no.
A boy.
It's like a boy.
It's a rowdy sword boy, sharp boy.
Not
The
a Swiss
gentle
Army
touch of a
sword.
boy.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Also, to answer your question, Olkar, yes, you do. Need is a strong word. Desire would be more the word.
Do I know how to put them together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start putting them together.
Wolfgar, be careful.
Do they require glue?
Magic glue.
You
Um,
just glue the swords on top of each other.
It doesn't work that well.
do I feel like obsessively like I need to do this now without telling anyone what I'm doing, or can I go, hey guys, I'm
feel
gonna
like
do
it
a
would be-
thing?
I
You're
feel like
more
it would
like-
be pretty implied either way, but I don't. It's it's not like I don't think it dictates that sort of emotions.
Oh,
Are
So
you
I
like
can-
a caterpillar where you're like you just start building a nest. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You're just doing it because of instinct.
Well, it is sort of like that in that like you've never received any instruction in how to do this. None of your background in smithing would have prepared you for what you're doing. But yeah, you're putting them together. Do you start with any of them in particular, or you just
probably the fourth one first, I think. Since I'm assuming everything attaches to that.
Well, yeah,
That is
no,
the-
that's a
Um,
given. I mean, like, which of the other three?
Probably see, tear, and then break.
Yeah.
I think the order I'd do it.
So, as you start assembling this, the process is fairly simple, actually. You kind of sit down and lay the fourth sword in your lap, which we're just going to refer to from now on as the Master Sword. Please don't draw any Zelda links. It's not that one. And also ignore the pun that I accidentally made. You lay the sword across your legs, sort of across your lap, and you begin placing the other swords on top of it, starting with C. And as you do so, they sort of flash brilliantly and vanish. But the empty gem slots on the blade of that sword begin filling with the gems corresponding to the colors that you place the sword on there. It's a bit like the Infinity Gauntlet in that regard, though again,
Christ.
unintentional parallel there as well. Yeah, and as you do this, the blade slowly changes. So if you can see the one that the regent is currently holding in the little art,
Yeah.
how it sort of looks a bit like a key.
Oh, it
Kinda.
is, huh?
Yeah, that shape slowly kind of fades away, like the outline stays, but the blade kind of ooh, there it is again. It kind of like swells out a bit to fill those gaps in, and it starts taking on a more sort of magical appeal. The metal that it's made of goes from looking like ordinary steel to sort of a shining silvery blue color.
Does the
And
grass cards still look like fingers?
it does still look like fingers.
That's
creepy.
It is weird.
But yeah, and that progresses until you have a pretty substantial blade that is faintly glowing blue, and is just a little bit wider and just a little bit longer than it was in its first form. Yeah.
Dope.
That's scary.
And I'm gonna go ahead and re-identify it for you free of charge. Don't worry.
That's sick.
So it's now definitely a +3 sword, and it has the effects that it had before, minus the being immune to the other 3 swords, because of course they don't exist currently
Uh-huh.
the way they did previously. It has the added benefit of, boy, now that I think about it, it's a bit like a burp snarf, isn't it? It's
What?
before, when you used each of the individual swords, they had an effect. So C caused things to glow green. I think it was break caused the shatter, and tear the intricate geometric design. Now, when you use it, there is the same range as Shatter, but it's an area of effect now for the C ability, and it also is an area of effect for the Tear ability, and so it does them all simultaneously.
Ooh,
So it does all that within 10 feet.
that's so fucked. Well, what you got there is one might call an infinity sword.
And also, Ulfgar, you now have a very powerful desire to plunge that sword
Stab.
into the obelisk.
Oh no.
Let's rest before that happens.
I'm gonna start walking over.
Volkar, not yet.
I have to, guys. I mean, it's telling me I have to.
Well, we can do that after we take a rest.
As
It's just your will, sir.
So are you
Yes.
pausing, walking over to say that, or
I'm saying it as I walk over.
so you're not stopping? Question.
Can I try to fight the urge?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can stop if you want.
Myself, Michael, and Raphael are all going to begin walking backwards away from what
Well,
Ulfgar's
In
doing.
unison.
Michael and Raphael have already begun their journey towards Ghent.
Okay.
Like they
In that
left.
case-
Most of the mages, in fact, have sort of wandered off.
Excellent. Less that I have to worry about. I'm gonna just back away.
It's
As
just like
you
Orchella. I mean,
I'd back
Yeah.
up with you.
everyone wakes up and wanders away.
The
I'm gonna find a wall to cower behind.
the
Before he
sword, as you're walking towards the obelisk, sort of almost magnetically drawn to it, like you feel it pulling a little bit. Not like a lot, but like it's sort of like have you ever done that thing where you stand in like a doorway and you hold your arms against it really hard, and then like you
Yep.
walk away and your arms just lift without you doing it? It's like that feeling.
Those are ghosts. um,
Are you?
Wonderful observation.
I'm
sir.
gonna keep resisting. Like,
So you're stopping.
yes,
You're
I'm
saying.
stopping.
So
Stop
as you
resisting.
stop, you feel kind of a slowly building searing pain. It's a bit like it felt in hell, and it just slowly builds the longer you stay still.
Oh, I'm guessing it's the tattoo that's burning.
Well, that is too, but I mean, it feels like you're still impaled on those spikes.
Oh.
It's not real bad yet. It's kind of like heartburn level, but it's getting up. It's getting up there. Like the longer you stay there, now it sort of hurts like when you stub your toe. A little bit longer, and it feels like you accidentally kicked a coffee table with your shin. A little bit more, and oh, now you've burned yourself on something really hot.
Guys, I gotta do this. It
I gotta do
Why?
the move.
I well, it's starting to burn me up from the inside not doing it. Oh,
Ray of Frost.
fire on the inside.
unless one of you is going to like physically restrain me, it's gonna happen.
Uh,
That's like impossible.
Derkar, can you try to take that sword away from him?
Very good, sir. And I
Be
kind of just
careful.
start waddling over very quickly. And I'm going to attempt to. Here, let's see if I have any tricks up my sleeve.
Tricks up my flipper.
I'm gonna run up to Durkar real quick and cast Enhance Ability on him. Use this and give him advantage on strength checks.
Oh boy.
I assume that's what it's gonna be. Strength. Probably won't be enough.
So if just a question about people or to people who know things. If someone is stunned, would they most likely be able to let go of whatever they're holding on to?
I feel like they would probably have disadvantage at holding on to it. For sure.
Okay. So I am going to kind of go up to Ulfgar and I say, I apologize for this, and I am going to try and land a successful attack on him.
Drunken nerve pinch.
As a reaction to that, the sword is going to try to hit you.
Like before or after what I do?
It's a good question. Are you walking up to him with the intent of doing that?
Yeah.
Then yes. Four.
Okay.
Oh no.
You want me to roll for the sword?
Yep.
Or do you gotta... Oh.
Now, is this Ulfgar attacking with the sword, or is this the sword just doing its own thing?
I feel like it's Ulfgar being puppeted by the sword.
Okay. Right, no, I wasn't sure if it was like shooting out a missile or something. Or if
No,
this was literally Ulfgar physically hitting you with the
yeah,
sword.
it's gonna, yeah, that's what.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, that's not gonna hit.
No.
And I'm gonna say, at least we seem to be on the same page. And I am going to boom, boom, boom. One is a natural 20, and the others are 20s total. So with the first one, the natural 20, I am going to hit Ulfgar, non-lethal. That is going to be 8 slashing damage, and I'm going to spend a key point in order to do a stunning strike. And he must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be stunned till the end of my next turn.
Okay.
The real final boss was Ulfgar.
I'll have more hit points than the real boss.
Yeah.
Let's see, a con save. That is a 17.
Okay, that's gonna save. I am down to 4 key points. So
That was 8 damage, right?
yeah.
Oh.
I guess I'll have to go ahead and spend another key point to do another stunning strike with, I assume a 20 does hit you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another non-lethal, it's going to be 9 slashing damage. And just in case you have any like resistance or anything, they are magical.
Are you hitting him with your fist?
Yes, with my flippers.
Okay.
The monk's unarmed attack counts as...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, maybe.
Right. So again, I'm gonna have to ask you to make another Constitution saving throw.
That 6.
Okay. So you're gonna be stunned, and then, do you think I would be able to try and? Oh, right. The last attack can be made in order to try and knock the weapon out of his hand, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want that to be strength versus strength?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You have advantage.
Okay. And then he has disadvantage because stunned.
Which cancels out the advantage that the sword is giving him, so it's a non-advantage roll.
Oh boy.
Just a straight roll.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. That's gonna be a 4 was my highest one. They both landed on 20 and then rolled off the 20. Both of them. One went to a 4 and one went to a 5, and I am not strong.
Well, my straight roll was 13, so.
Okay.
Plus just a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call for someone else to come and take it.
Christ.
How long does the stun from Stunning Strike last?
The stun is going to last until the end of my next turn. So I can go ahead and make another 3 attempts.
Okay.
Oh boy. Well, hopefully one of these will work. I assume I still have advantage on strength checks.
Yes.
Okay.
I
So for the
did for,
first
like, a
one,
minute.
that's okay. That's gonna be a 20.
I rolled a 2. So. That puts it, a 20 beats it.
Okay. Am I now possessed by the sword?
Are you holding it, or did you just knock it out of his hands?
Oh, that's a good question. Do I have the? Let's check my scores. Do
Val
I have?
did tell you to take it.
Did he?
Yeah.
So this is
Okay.
on Val?
Leave it on the ground.
Oh, just put it on the ground.
Yeah, just leave it on the ground.
I am going to drop it on the floor and then immediately say, would you like me to kick it as far away as possible?
Yes. Kick it this direction.
I go ahead and I kick it as far away as possible.
You kick the blade and slice your foot in half.
Yeah, my foot is now gone. Some random child comes over and picks up the blade.
Possessed.
And your foot.
My foot is now evil.
That's where the
Only your
severed
foot is
foot-
possessed.
That's where the severed foot came from.
Oh shit! Somebody tried and failed.
Okay, so you've kicked it.
Okay, and then
I
I
assume
am
Ulfgar is no longer stunned.
right, and I'm gonna stay on Wolfgar. Like not, on top of him, but I'm gonna stand in between him and the sword.
Right. Yeah. I don't. I mean, I'm gonna leave it up to Ulfgar. I don't think Ulfgar's hostile.
No, I'm pretty sure something horrible is going to happen.
Is anyone watching this?
Yes,
I
I've
would-
had my eye on it this whole
I'm-
time.
I've been watching fairly intently from
Yeah.
behind the wall that I'm hiding behind.
So
I probably can't see anything. I'm hiding with them.
the 2 fingers that make up the guard sort of twist and contort and form 2 little finger legs.
Oh,
Oh my
And
god.
Just
the sword begins marching towards the obelisk on its little finger legs.
I'll cast Mage Hand. and pick it up.
Okay.
Is it?
It's like taking a dog out of water. It's still going.
It is. Yeah, very much so. Doing that.
Is it actually getting any closer though?
It's trying, but currently, no.
And am I still burning up inside?
Yes, very much so. And it's getting worse.
Shit. That's not good.
And I just took a bunch of damage. Oh.
Do I have a hold of it with my mage hands?
It sounds like you do. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to Ulfgar, and I'm gonna grab the handy haversack. And I'm gonna float the sword over to the handy haversack and drop it in.
Yeah, the blade pierces through the bottom of the handy haversack
Oh.
and it falls to the ground. Along with the
Is the handy
contents of the
haversack
handy haversack.
Right. Oh. Oh, jeez.
Man, this is
Okay.
one tough cookie, huh?
I'm
There
gonna
are now-
try-
About 6,000 gold coins just pouring
Oh.
out.
Ah, jeez.
God damn you.
Cover it in gold. Cover it in gold. It won't be able to get out.
Haversack's
Okay,
gone.
I have a question for the DM.
Mhm.
Would I know if it'd be possible to break this sword by punching it to death?
Don't break the sword.
How many times have you punched a normal sword to death?
Well,
I
that's our daily training regime.
don't think you would know that either way, if it was possible or not.
And it's
Okay.
magicked, so
But I have
Be
magic
happy to let you
hands.
try though.
My grand idea failed. It's on you guys now.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
I'm just gonna start going over and punching the sword.
So you dropped it with the mage hand, right?
Stop
Yeah.
punching the sword.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
crawling
touch it.
towards
Very good, sir.
Diablo.
I mean, I'll pick it back up to keep it from with my mage hand, to keep it from like going over there. But
Okay.
we got a minute before I drop it again.
Now, I have a question for Val.
Yes.
Not in game, but out of character.
Oh, okay.
Did you tell me to stop punching it when I started punching it, or after? Or sorry, before I started punching it? Like, did you know I was gonna
Well,
start punching it? Because I definitely
it
would have
was-
gone.
No,
punch.
it was definitely after.
Okay.
Like,
well,
You might
I'm
have punched it once, and I was like, stop punching it.
Okay, I'm gonna get in one punch then.
Okay.
One punch!
That is gonna be an 11 to hit the sword.
Boy, I guess that hits the sword.
Do not.
Okay, that's gonna be a 9 slashing damage. Magical slashing damage with the sword.
Yeah,
not
it
cry
also
to death.
deals 9 slashing damage to you, but otherwise seems unfazed.
Ah,
oh, I'm gonna let out a blood-curdling scream of pain, and then grab
It
for
should
the
be noted,
sword.
too,
and-
at this point that Ulfgar is like emitting steam.
Oh my god.
oh no.
I'm gonna float it above his head so he can't reach it.
Oh Jesus.
I'm gonna get Toby up in your face. And go, give me the sword.
No!
I am so. You know what? I just want to see what happens.
This is for your own good, Ulfgar.
Okay,
I am literally smoking. How is this
What?
good?
would I know if banishment might help in character?
Who are you gonna
Not that I
banish?
have banishment. I am a monk.
I don't.
Do I even know what
roll
banishment is?
insight, I guess. I
have
mean,
been
you've been
for one creature.
enslaved to a magical family, so I assume you would know what banishment is.
Okay.
You've probably been threatened with it at least every other week.
No.
Daddy Big Bucks probably really likes it.
I have that.
That
I'm
is
saving
11.
It for.
I don't think you would know if it would help or not.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm gonna
right.
suggest it. I'm gonna say, Sire, can you banish the sword?
No.
Ah,
I think
well,
banishment only works on people.
It's creatures, not.
I thought you can.
things.
Oh, I've heard of
was-
people banishing doors before, but maybe they were just
House
doing it
rules.
wrong.
Yeah.
Very lenient DMs.
Also,
got
no
plenty
slots
of
to do
slots.
so.
Yeah.
I'm saving that for if something bad happens. Something comes through.
I'm gonna
If-
poke Gabriel in the side as an
Ah!
attack. I'll break his concentration. Give me the sword.
Mage Hand's not a concentration spell.
Would
So
I know
take
that?
Probably not.
I don't think you'd know that. So are you poking him for damage?
Yeah, that was a 15
To hit or
To hit or damage?
to hit.
15 does not hit.
Go up.
I will nimbly dodge out of the way. Ulfgar, if you can say with absolute certainty what will happen when that sword goes into that rock and it's not something bad, then I will give you the sword.
I will break the bond that holds me to the Drow Queen.
Right. That's kind of a coy answer.
But what happened?
And
I say,
both are mastered non-answers.
And what will happen to the sword?
Well, hopefully I'll still hang on to it.
And what will happen to the Drow Queen?
She'll be released from hell.
Precisely what I'm trying to avoid.
I put forward a suggestion. Well, when my aunt got snippety, they killed her and then revived her. But when she was revived, she no longer was bound by magic to the family. Maybe such a thing could be done here.
That didn't work with Hans.
Gidget, can you do something for him? Indicating to Ulfgar.
What do you want me to do?
Kill and revive him.
Will death break your bond?
I'm
Um,
not gonna kill him.
My guess is no, I'll just end up back in hell.
Oh shit.
Well then.
And then we'll have to go see Jimmy again and go through this
No.
whole thing.
Wait, why would we
You
have to
already
see
have the
Jimmy
soul.
again?
Yeah,
Wait,
still have that, I hope.
I could
Oh yeah, we do.
try to
No,
remove.
so.
If
I don't think it's a curse.
it also breaks attunement, but
Do you have anything to ease pain?
Oh, breaking attunement would be nice.
Hey, I got a bow that.
Oh shit, no, don't do that. The bow. Think of its feelings.
Fuck the bow. It's rude as shit.
should I?
If I could
try
hit
to
something.
remove Curse?
It doesn't get love.
Well, no wonder.
I walk up to Val and I say, maybe it's time that we leave the party, sir.
No. This is too entertaining to leave.
I think I should try to remove the curse.
I
Maybe
think
from
you
a
should do
safer
something before Ulfgar stabs me. Oh wait, he doesn't have a sword. Before Ulfgar punches me.
I don't
Doesn't
have a
hand
sword.
axe,
Or hacks me
have
with an axe. Or
Axes.
something.
I've got a shovel I could hit you over the head with.
Please don't. I'm trying
He
to
has
help
an
you.
axe that teleports him.
Oh,
I'd have
Yeah,
to
get
hit
it.
it though.
you need to get
I don't
close
know
to
if
it.
it'll work because I have to touch the. Wait, no, it's a creature. I could try. All right, Gidget touches Ulfgar.
Just wasting spell slots.
I know, but do something.
Let's just do this and kill the Drow Queen when she shows up.
Yeah, I cast remove curse on Ulfgar.
Well, congratulations, Ulfgar. You're no longer bound to the bow.
Or my hand
Hand
axe.
axe, right?
Or my belt of strength.
Right? Which
Yeah.
falls
No, that's
off.
great.
I thought you can only be attuned to 3 things at a time.
Yeah, the bow, the swords, it was a loophole because Scott forgot to have us attuned to them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Why
it's 3
isn't my
things?
mouse working?
And I guess technically, well, the other one does. I don't know. He's sort of bound to it in a way, so I feel like that's kind of a, loophole to that as well. It's a MacGuffin. It's a story MacGuffin. We're gonna ignore the sword.
Okay.
So it doesn't work for a sword.
No, I'm just slightly less powerful now.
Well, I had to do something.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, because now I can't banish anything. So I don't get my other slot until we finish a long rest, right? For the level up.
Yep.
We just nerfed Ulfgar.
Well, maybe that's a
And
good thing. He was gonna
Gidget.
attack us.
I'm not horribly nerfed. I'm just slightly nerfed.
Yeah, oh yeah. Huh.
Can Toby fly?
He's a ghost.
He's a ghost.
Do ghosts have incorporeal movement?
I believe they do. Let me double check.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Then, yep. I don't think it's very high, but
Toby, can you go get that for me before I spontaneously combust?
yeah, the steaming's getting pretty aggressive.
Toby, have to make a strength check against a mage hand.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast Toby.
Mm.
Fuck. Oops.
Oops.
Oops. That was an oopsie.
That was an oopsie one.
Yeah. Yep, it was.
Well, I am in front of you.
I mean, he's
What?
aiming upwards though, and you're short.
Right.
Yeah,
Does
he
it
is
mean-
taller, but what
Doesn't
was
mean
the
you can't go for that low one.
The oops
Yeah.
was, I believe, he just tried to Eldritch Blast Toby, and he got a one.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
swear to God,
Uh,
you knock that sword out of my mage hand.
but I did hit Toby once.
okay.
Uh,
Let's resolve that first before I tell you what the other one. But roll
Okay.
damage for the other one.
Yeah, I did. I rolled for both. I hit Toby for what's 13 damage.
Hopefully, Ulfgar has a running tally of Toby's health.
Yeah, it was at 10.
Toby's dead.
Toby.
Excellent.
And the next was 6 damage.
6. That was the one. The one.
Yes.
Yeah. That hits Gidget in the back of the head.
Wow.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's probably what Gidget would say. Smack to the back of the head.
What hits me? I'm sorry, I was looking up
An
the
Eldritch
spell.
Blast.
Oh
It's force
You need to
damage.
hit-
It's like someone
you-
slapped you across the back of your head.
It's like I just fucking backhanded you.
Kiss Lord.
I didn't mean to do that, Gidget. I'm sorry.
Gidget was standing next to Ulfgar, right? Because
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
She
So
used a touch spell, so yeah.
the force of that drives her head into Ulfgar, and takes an additional
Yeah, great.
roll for it.
2 d20s of damage.
No, not d20s. 7 burning damage.
Oh wow.
Burning?
I am literally on fire.
How
How are you getting there?
Almost.
I don't know if I have my fire resistant cloak on. So only 3 things, so
This is a big mess. This is a hot ass mess.
how much
This is what's
damage
going
did
on.
the how much damage was the Eldritch Blast?
It did 6 force damage.
Was Buster Keaton the one who just fucking blundered around?
Sounds right.
Yeah, it's just a Buster Keaton skit.
How
Everyone's
much
getting
time
hit.
has elapsed since my mage hand?
It's getting pretty long in the tooth. It's not quite over, but it's nearly over.
Okay.
I mage hand in his place.
Wow.
Hey,
I mean,
a purple
Yeah.
tentacle appears to hold it.
I don't
Mage hands are
think.
invisible, so.
What?
No,
I
only.
don't think so.
Oh, is it not?
It's
Only
Oh,
only
it's
the
only-
one-
trickster rogues have invisible mage hands.
Yeah.
And
Well, we
There-
can't just let Ulfgar light on fire.
I am going to start just screaming in pain, agony. Bring the sounds of hell,
Val,
to the
Yeah, you're probably
Material
also
side.
having like PTSD flashbacks.
is there a river
Well,
nearby, sir?
I'm gonna turn around and put my hands on Gabriel's face and go, "Give me the sword."
Give me the
Val-
stone.
Drop the sword.
I don't
He-
suggest that.
You did
Yeah.
put your hands on him though.
Yep. Yeah, just grabbed on either side of his face.
Man, roll. I guess roll a dexterity check and save against that, Gabriel.
Okay.
Trying to avoid getting touched.
That's 10.
You want me to do an attack
Yes.
roll or something? Oh,
No. Roll a dexterity check.
oh. You are so lucky. I rolled a 2.
I'm gonna again dodge out of the way. Val, drop the sword. I've got this.
I'm gonna quickly like
I'm
place
gonna.
my hand back on Ulfgar and cure him. 'Cause I hated
Oh.
hearing him scream in pain.
Allow him to suffer more.
No,
Give him more hit points to burn through.
really.
Well, what if we just let him die
I gave him 10
and
back.
then?
Like I suggested, sir.
Right. Thank you. But
Very
not.
good,
noted.
sir.
Hasn't taken any damage except not yet. Just the damage that Durkar.
Durkar.
Yeah.
You know, I really, really hope you know what you're doing, Ulfgar. And I just dropped the sword and put my hands up.
I'm gonna
Okay.
do my best to try to catch it.
I am going to try and just start pushing Val out of the way.
Okay.
Sir, let me take you away from here.
Well, I want to see what happened.
From a safe distance.
So, you're gonna, I assume, both try to grab it then?
Yep.
Go ahead and roll dexterity saves. Yes. Checks.
I can't wait until they both become evil.
14.
15.
Oh, you
shit.
son of a bitch.
Yeah. Ulfgar does like a little hop, and Gabriel's not very tall, and so Ulfgar
Taller than Ulfgar.
just bit well, yeah, but he hopped higher, and he
Man.
got a hold of it.
Yeah.
I got little rocket boots now from the heat.
Do you know what you've done? No.
And after he gets a hold of the sword again, I'm just gonna grab Gidget and start dragging her away.
Okay, I guess we're backing away.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna-
no, I sling you over my shoulder and we start running.
What? How big are you?
Oh man.
That's a piece that
I'm like-
deserves heart.
Yeah, I'm like 4'2", 4'3".
Yeah, we
maybe.
need Val slinged over Durkar's shoulder,
Penguins
Running.
be known for their balance.
sprinting.
Oh, as Gabriel picks up Gidget, can I have yell out, pick up my belt, please? And I'm gonna go walk over and shove the sword into the
No, it's more of a run.
run. Yeah.
I will pick up his belt. But that's it, only because he asked.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'll just shove it in the opening.
I like how everyone's obstinate, as though Ulfgar really has a choice in how this is playing out. Like, fucking
Well,
Ulfgar, always just falling for
Yeah.
shit.
Regardless of whether or not he has a choice, we still had to attempt to stop the bad thing from happening.
We're trying to do this for his greater good.
I feel like it's just the attitude after it's been lost. Like, the attempt failed, and it's just like, oh man, Ulfgar, why you gotta be this way?
Right?
Uh,
Thanks a lot, Ulfgar.
Yeah.
It's all your fault, you bitch.
Wow.
I guess my
Yeah, so
universal
Ulfgar-
healthcare bill is gonna fail then too.
Ulfgar plunges the sword into the same slot that the regent was attempting to plunge the sword into. This time, though, so when you saw the regent doing it earlier, it like shot right in there. It doesn't do that this time. Really,
Oh.
timing.
That's the
Goodness.
sound it makes.
Yeah, no, not really. Wow.
I
Train of
was
thought lost.
vibrating earlier.
That's true. So just about an inch of the point of the blade pierces this slot, and the slot's pretty good size. And it just stops, and no matter how hard Ulfgar pushes, it doesn't move any further. And he's still just searing in pain, though it's come down quite a bit since he's sort of run to the altar. As the he's still pushing, trying to get this thing to go in there. The sort of cracks and fissures in this this stone, as well as the larger column, begin to sort of very dully glow from the point of the slot, sort of a reddish orange color, and that kind of spider webs out and pulses. It's a bit like that scene in Avatar when all the little avatars are chanting, and the roots and shit are glowing.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, where it's sort of pulsing out. And Ulfgar still sort of frantically, sort of like he's doing. It's almost like Yosemite Sam jumping on something to try and fit it into a hole. And it's just it seems to be resisting going in any further, but the fissures keep glowing, and then suddenly there's a loud cracking noise, and the blade sort of slowly begins pulling in, and and Ulfgar sort of like lets go to kind of like slam his fist against the pommel a couple of times, and the sword is sort of uniformly being drawn in, very slow speed, and the fissures begin to glow brighter and brighter as it kind of very slowly gets dragged into this stone. The green stone that you're stabbing is especially glowing. The greenness of the stone is glowing green, and then also the fissures growing orange. It's quite a contrast. And the glowing gets steadily brighter, and the pulses become more frequent the further in the blade gets. Ulfgar's still sort of frantically pushing it in there, and it's making sound. It kind of it's a sound a bit like rock grinding against rock, but there's like a sort of mechanical sound kind of in there as well. Trying to think of an analog. It's almost like in movies when they have like the really, really, really big like vault door, and there's all the gears and things. It's that kind of a noise overlaid with sort of the sound earthquakes make in movies. Sort of, hopefully
Rumbling?
Yeah, but that kind of like earthy stone rumble.
The earth was rumbling?
Topical.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the gems that were inlaid in the sword are also glowing very brightly at this point. It's about halfway in now, and Ulfgar, are you still trying to push it in?
It's slowly moving on its own, so I think I would have given up trying to push it in and just held on for dear life.
Yeah. It's very slowly being drawn in. Just to sort of see what happens, you offer up some resistance to it, and it doesn't even act like you're there. It just tugs very steadily.
Oh.
And this continues. It keeps building in intensity. The sound gets louder, and pretty soon the blade has completely been enveloped in this stone, and the guard is now starting to get sucked in to this into this slot. And then following that is the handle of the sword. Still holding on?
You know how this went last time.
I don't want to just give it up. Like, is it still solid to my hand, or if I put my other hand against the rock? True.
Oh yeah, no, the rock is still solid.
Oh,
It's like a slot in the rock that the sword is being sucked into. That's a bit wider and longer than.
even if I just kept holding on, it'd probably just slip through my grip anyways.
Yeah, I mean that seems logical.
I'll just let go and take a step back.
Yeah, you do so. The burning has now pretty much gone away. Back to kind of like toast stub levels, and you're no longer steaming.
Are there any physical consequences to all of this burning?
I'm probably sweating profusely, but
Yeah, sweating. He's a little like red. It's a lot like if someone had been like working out on a really hot day.
I bet that looks just amazing with his blue hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about contrast, boy. Whew.
Just a rosy pink face and
Yeah. Yeah, and the sword just continues on without your hand, and a few moments, even the pommel kind of disappears into the slot. At this point, the pulsing and the noise, which were sort of a dull roar before, are now just. I mean, it's like an oncoming train. It's very loud. And then suddenly it stops. Well, the sound anyway. The pulsing is still happening, but it's grown in frequency so high that it's almost just a solid glow of orange on all of these little fissures. And then there is a loud clunking noise, followed by a loud crunching noise, followed by the sound of rock falling as the column of stone crumbles into just tiny pebbles, sort of spilling out. And Ulfgar, make a dexterity saving throw.
And all the rocks turn into a giant robot. It's the Decepticon.
that's a
Oh,
16.
16. Yeah, you kind of like sort of run in place and are able to maintain your position as these little pebbles kind of wash out around you. And it's slippery and it's really hard to maintain your balance, but you do. And pretty soon there's about maybe a 6-foot high pile of these fine pebbles of black stone surrounding this large sort of emerald egg of stone that is pulsing and glowing orange. And a few more moments pass as the pebbles sort of settle and the sound of their movement dies down. And you hear the sound of stone shearing. Hopefully everyone's familiar with the sound of like rock breaking open.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, I mean it happened. They showed in movies quite frequently, so hopefully you're at least somewhat familiar. In any case, that's the sound you hear. And this egg sort of splits open into 5 petals. And as the petals open up, if someone who has access to the art of Her Excellency the Drow Queen could plonk her down.
Yay!
That's a lot of coincidence right there. You just have the art on you? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like, I've been preparing
It's
for
almost
this
like you
for
planned ahead.
quite a while.
As the
Wow.
Drow Queen comes out of the rock.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
I didn't realize that the Drow Queen was playing as a character in my campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, Thok. How I miss you.
What's good you missed, Doc?
Oh, goodness. So edgy.
Nope, not that one.
Oh,
Elder one.
I didn't finish that.
Oh, the
It's
the
good.
other Drow Queen.
Yeah. But that is that out in the open, invisible. That's the version that that's what Ulfgar sees in hell.
Oh,
Right. I didn't finish that.
Creepy yellow demon eyes. Why am I not surprised?
Does she wear shoes or does she naturally have a heel?
The
Shoot.
ultimate bad bits.
Yeah, I believe I described her armor as sort of a second skin of
Wow.
Yeah.
scale.
Well, that's badass.
I felt
I'm a
bad.
bad
now.
bitch. You can't kill me.
Awesome art day.
Yeah,
very
it's
nice.
super good. Even the unfinished piece that you're about to see is super good.
Don't have that as a figure. Because it wasn't done.
Surprise!
Oh man.
I think you're gonna have to exit.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Jen.
Wow, Scott, way to kick out one of your players right at a crucial moment.
Interlude, I gotta pee.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead. Slightly more anticlimactic than I had
I'm
hoped,
sorry.
but it's okay. It's not your
That's-
fault. I
It's
Oh, you
literally
said,
sprung
like-
it on you.
4 more sessions. Like, okay.
Yeah, it progressed a little faster than I expected it to.
than the party previously had.
Yeah,
Yeah. Based on how we usually play.
that's kind of it, actually. I hate to be that guy, but yeah.
I
Oh,
mean, we all
that
agree with
guy.
you. We know.
I mean, have you seen what I send out for the going live notifications on
No.
the stream? Is come watch us not make any story progress.
Really?
Classic.
Wow. But you
Yeah,
guys have
get
been
wrecked,
making
Scott.
so much story progress.
Right?
Oh, word, it's impossibly hot.
Ugh,
Yeah, it's pretty
What?
warm.
it's warm in here too.
It's not that hot outside. It's still I assume it's in the like low 70s, maybe high 80s or 60s rather. But I have like the computer, and then the inverter gets hot, and then there's me. I'm a big natural heater, and the
Yeah.
Prius isn't very big, so it's warm in here quick.
Oh Lord.
And I can't roll the windows down because there's a cloud of mosquitoes outside the size of Texas.
It's not really working out too well.
Mosquitoes.
I'm praying to my unicorn to please help me survive. Just thought I'd let that be known. I mean,
I still have
knowing my unicorn probably not gonna help, but
I still have Val slung over my shoulder.
Check and see if I have. Hopefully, I remembered to put it on here. Oh, good, I didn't.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
I'm about ready.
Val is just so happy.
I'm
I'm
so
so
happy.
happy. He's at the good store right now.
Wow.
the good queen. Is the drug
Oh.
queen missing a finger on each hand?
Nope.
Damn.
That'd be pretty dope, though.
Yeah,
Why?
like if those were literally her fingers on the sword.
That would be pretty fucking lit.
Such a
Okay,
wasted
but-
opportunity, Scott.
Okay, Balzar. No, there's no Egyptian anything. Okay.
Where's the Eye of Ra?
Yeah. What the fuck, Scott? Do you even know how to DM?
I put the Eye of Ra in at least every encounter.
In his defense, I could kind of see the resemblance that he was seeing, but yeah.
What resemblance did he see?
One of the runes on the floor very, very loosely resembled the Eye of Ra, and so he put temple and then the rune together, and just I guess got really hopeful for Egyptian things.
My character is the
Wow.
Egyptian god Baphomet. It's been
What?
spurned by
That's
the
not
Baphomet
an
Baphomet
god.
Egyptian
table.
god.
What is Baphomet not?
No,
Can I be
Baphomet is a demon
Oh,
of
re-up?
Christianity.
promoted?
Who's the like
Bat?
cat god? Yeah,
Bastet.
yeah. Baphomet, Bastet.
Also,
Sounds very similar.
while we're being nitpicky, I think you guys were talking about the Eye of, not necessarily the Eye of Ra.
It's
Take
interchangeable.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
It has
yeah.
been.
The Egyptians didn't really matter at all, so it's not really.
No, I
Whatever.
mean like the
Not
Eye of
shit.
Ra and the Eye of
Oh,
Horus.
goodness.
Like during different dynasties and different belief systems, it was kind of interchangeable.
How dare you?
Anyways,
Anyway.
who cares about Egypt?
Yeah, fuck Egypt.
Who cares about Val?
And
I was
welcome to
absolutely-
season 2 of the Friday campaign, where we go to Egypt.
Yeah.
Shit.
Who needs a gravel pit?
I popped it.
Hey, look at that. Ooh,
Oh wow,
that's
pretty.
Wow.
There's a
that's
green
very-
Really
egg-shaped
not
thing,
great.
and
Why? Why is she so angry?
She's an angry girl.
Oh my goodness.
We did what you wanted. Now leave us alone.
I love her.
Go ahead and blow her up. I mean, like, side.
I
Yeah.
pull out my dynamite.
Does she have the sword?
Is she like 30 feet tall or something?
No, I just so everyone can get a better look.
Okay. I was kind of hoping that she'd be 30 feet tall.
Giant
Spooky.
woman.
So that she could crush you with her thighs?
No comment.
She could crush me with her thighs any day.
So anyway.
Oh, look at that feather. That's a cool feather.
Yeah.
Look at those fingers.
Oh, 2 feathers.
Yeah, there's 2 feathers each.
Oh, and
Oh,
look at
shit.
those fingernails.
Lots
Look
of
at the swords on her sword.
She looks pretty badass, gotta say.
did she kill the Raven Queen to get her armor?
Right, because they look like tiny crow feathers? Is
Yeah,
that the joke?
Tiny crow feathers and
I thought they looked like scales.
Well, they're supposed to be scales, but I
Yeah.
understand.
Just like the
Scales.
scale
Did
on
she-
Michael's outfit is not a golden.
Not a what?
I was
There's
just
no
going by
gold
the-
in it.
Nobody's noticed the chess piece then.
I did.
The chess piece is awesome.
I
Um,
mean, it looks.
It's
big
the
like
bird
a
skull.
dragon.
Or dragon.
Or
Is that
a
the-
raven's
Also the Raven Queen.
is the Drow King just the Raven Queen? Because, I mean, that's cool. Right, are these things that something that our characters should know, or something that we should pick up as players who have played more than one game of D&D? Scott?
I don't know.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
No, more about should our players know anything about, or should our characters?
Well, I think everyone but Dakar has heard the backstory behind the swords.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I
don't
think
know
I
anything
also have
about
not
the
as a
Raven Queen.
player.
I would say, that's a good one. It's a good question. Mostly because they share a name. They don't really share a background. So,
A name.
Have I ever heard any descriptions of her likeness and song?
Does she
As
have
a
brown
bird boy?
eyes? No, she doesn't.
And you, my brown-eyed girl.
What about
you
pale blue
remember
eyes?
when?
No pale blue eyes. Okay.
that's a good question.
Is she a femme fatale?
Behind those
shit.
eyes you like.
Teenage Dream.
Dream. Oh, she's got the jeans on. Oh my
Yes,
god.
she does. Skin tight jeans, beach.
Oh, the apple bottom boots.
She's all the girls in every song.
I'm a boss ass bitch.
Does she have a milkshake on her?
No. Well, yeah.
Does she make milkshakes?
Here are all the boys in the yard.
And turns out the sword is just a straw for a milkshake.
Wow. That's so cool. Scott, you really outdone yourself this time.
Very original content.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
the girl from the From the
Yard.
milkshake song.
Okay,
Wow.
Grandpa.
Very cool, son.
I can only imagine that one Viner.
Oh, man.
Are
Fuck.
you guys done yet?
Yeah.
I can end at any point.
Can you?
Yeah, if you ask me to, I can.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will keep going until I've exhausted literally every opportunity to make a joke.
And then some.
That's why we love you, Ryan.
Aw, thank you.
To answer your question about the bards and the songs and the music,
What can I
Man.
say? It's my life.
yeah, no, and it's a good question. Trying to sort of internally debating because from a very long time ago, I think there are songs of her, I would say. I don't think they really describe her very well. I think a lot of that was kind of lost to history. Yeah, I think I think you'd probably be able to make those connections in your head, though.
Okay. Between the Drow Queen and the Raven Queen, or
Um,
like
I think between the person you're seeing and the Raven.
okay. Okay. In that case, I'm like 10 times as terrified.
Are
Oh
you?
man, she's a man eater. I mean, like going off of my knowledge of the Raven
Which is
Queen,
completely irrelevant.
right? But
Yeah.
like mostly what you hear is like she's very mysterious in her workings, and nobody really knows like what she wants, and that
The
makes
Raven
her
Queen works
more
in mysterious
scary.
ways.
Right. Well, that makes her almost more scary than just like a demon who pretty clearly just wants to like eat people and burn the world. Like you don't know why she's doing the shit that she does.
Well, nobody likes being
and-
in hell.
Right, but
Oh, I made a deal with her to get out of it.
I'm just gonna
Good pun.
quietly muse to myself and wait to see what she does, because that will inform my future decisions.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go ahead and warn everyone, because I'm sure you're not the only one that has read or heard about or experienced in some way the D&D lore behind the Raven Queen. Does not apply here.
Okay.
Does not apply here. Totally different thing. Like I say earlier, they share a name, or I guess the title. About it.
But is the name as spread as the Raven
No.
Queen is normally? Okay.
Not at all. No.
Uh,
The title Raven Queen, and the knowledge of this person are exactly as well known as the Drow Queen, that basically only the Drow know about.
Okay.
and in that case, would the people who know that name then, instead of being the Drow, would that be like Death Domain clerics and necromancers and stuff?
No.
Okay, so there's a completely different god for that.
Yes.
Okay.
I imagine that the only reason that I know anything, as little as I know, is because of my hive mind, because I doubt there's like
Right.
too many
Yeah.
Drow bards.
That's
Like,
it. And that's kind of
yeah.
where, so like the elves, certain elves specifically probably know of her, and they probably know her by one of the two names. And so I think anything you would know from the hive mind would be like from that edge of the history. So that's why you're kind of drawing the connection, but it's not like it's not super obvious what's happening.
Right. Is it safe to assume that, from what I've heard, she's not necessarily painted in the most positive light?
Well, yeah, I mean, given that she's apparently one and the same with the Drought Queen, no.
Okay.
Wow.
Excellent. Just making sure.
That's good.
Drill bars are on the. Oh god.
Wow.
All right. I'm done asking questions. We can move on.
No, I mean, questions are good. I feel like they're giving certain people too much room to make bad jokes and puns, though.
True.
You can just say Omega. We all know who's fault
Yeah.
here.
God damn it, Omega.
Yeah. I am innocent.
The deep
I'm
web.
terrified.
But yeah, she emerges from this like petal of rock, or flower of rock, I guess. In sort of the Terminator pose when in the beginning of Terminator, every time when he teleports in,
Is she also naked?
hero pose. No, she's wearing her armor.
Mm.
She flips the sword and it lands on the blade. She dabs.
Wow.
I was gonna ask, does she say, "And I am back"?
Oh jeez.
Does she ride down the rock pile on her soap shoes?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
It's actually a Razor scooter. Thank you very much.
Does wheat tail spin on the way down?
You joke, but scooters are making a comeback at skate parks apparently.
That's unfortunate.
No, Razor
Yeah.
scooters are awesome. I love them.
Well, they're not Razor scooters though. They're like really fancy trick
Okay, well then
scooters
fuck them.
with like
yeah.
wider handles, carbon fiber.
If they're
deck.
not
It's not the
Razor
scooters that
they
I
aren't
dislike.
American.
It's
She
not the
rides
scooters that I
them.
dislike. It's the little kids that are generally riding.
Yeah.
Fuck
Well,
little
it's
kid.
it's
No.
like pro scooterers now though.
That's
So it's
unfortunate for them.
This-
it's a
she
very
rides
strange.
down on her
They
soap
get
shoes.
all of the poontang.
Apparently, they get paid better than pro skaters, which is weird.
Them and Minecraft YouTubers.
So she steps down out of her flower.
Yep.
Wolfgar deflowered her.
Oh.
Anyway, she rides down her soap shoes.
Thank you. I'll
It's an
be back.
unfortunate
say-
pun.
I was gonna say,
Hey,
I-
Scott.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, you want to take this forward before we
Yeah.
continue to make jokes for the next 40 minutes?
I mean, I keep trying to, and then, you know, it's hard, Ryan. It's hard.
It's a lot easier when you're the normal culprit and you're DMing.
Right.
Then it becomes story.
I suppose. Normal culprit seems a little rude. Wow.
Am I not the normal culprit?
Oh, right. You are. You're not DMing though. Or was
Not
that
right
your
now.
point?
Right.
Right.
I was saying it flies when I do it, not when you do it.
I see. Okay. Yeah. What were you about to say, Ilker?
I was just gonna say, yeah, I've done what you've asked and set you free. What are you going to do now?
Quiet.
Oh, wow. So, so she came out of the flower. I keep saying petal when I mean flower. She came out of the flower of stone. Not really with a happy face, but sort of in a different face. Like finally, jeez. As you begin that with the "I've done what you asked," her the corners of her mouth sort of curl up a little bit in a smile. And boy, even in text, you're disruptive.
Sorry, please.
Um, yeah. So as you sort of begin that with "I've done as you asked," her mouth kind of curls up in a bit of a smile, not like more of a sneer, I guess.
A menacing smile.
Yeah, and then as you question what she's gonna do now, a bit of a frown. She steps down from the flower and stands in front of Wolfgar, and she's sort of glaring down at you. And she kind of holds her sword out level, with about like your nose. And she says in a very commanding tone, "Bow."
Am I... Do I have free will still?
No, you've always had free.
Oh, wow.
Well, you've more or less had free will. certain liberties were taken.
I guess I'll give a slight bow.
A little curtsy.
She kind of furrows her brow at this and repeats herself. Bow.
Does she seem... I say angry at me not complying fully?
Does she seem cross?
She doesn't seem happy that you're not doing it. Yeah.
He's a little snippy.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Sword at my nose.
Sort of
I
like
guess...
when your mom tells you to do something and you only kind of half do it.
Yeah, I guess I'll fully bow.
Yeah. Okay. As you do so, she taps the flat of the sword against your back, and there's sort of a loud pop, and it kind of forces you to the ground a lot harder than you had intended to be, and you feel sort of a warmth kind of wash over you. Everyone else sort of sees like a wave of orange light kind of wash over him from the point of impact from the sword. And you can really strongly smell, the sulfury, burning flesh smell that you smelled when you were in hell. And that smell sort of fades. And as it does, you can really smell just everything now. Like you can smell sort of the world around you a lot better than you could previously. And it just sort of now dawns on you that kind of this whole time, that kind of sulfury smell was right there, sort of at the back of your throat, kind of lingering there, and it's gone now.
Ooh, that smell. Can't you smell that smell?
As almost immediately after she does this, she begins walking past you.
Am I still physically in pain at all anywhere, or?
Well, you're a little in pain. Like you struck the ground pretty hard. Like you started a normal bow, and then you were kind of just tossed onto the ground, force of the blow. But other than the pain of that happening, no, you're fine. I mean, in any pain lingering from being karate chopped, all the stuff that happened to you earlier.
Being burned alive.
Yeah, am I still feeling any of the effects of fiery hell?
Nope.
Is she walking in the direction of Gidget or I, or Val and Durkar?
Are your current positions accurate?
I
Yes.
went directly across from. Yeah, they're accurate.
Yeah.
So
Gidget and I would be behind a wall or whatever over here.
so then yes, she is walking in your general direction.
Okay, I'm going to get Gidget behind me and kind of shield her the best that I can, putting myself between her and the Joker.
Yeah, I cover my mouth.
Thank God, Saya.
So, you know, before I had described this town as having had what appeared to be a fire, and part of that was like the grass was kind of sooty and burned, and it was very patchy, especially around buildings, and mostly just just dead, kind of brown. As she walks, with each footstep, the grass grows greener, and then immediately dies. Like as the foot hits the earth, grass around it grows green and then dies. Lifts her foot off, another step, and that just continues as she walks.
Okay.
I have no idea what happened.
Sent us flying through the air. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna keep myself between her and Gidget at all times.
Okay.
Keeping my eye on her, not looking away.
Am I able to lift myself off the ground?
No, you're fine. Yeah, you're totally fine now.
I'm gonna stand up and turn around.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. The forest spirit from
Yeah.
Princess
Mononoke, yeah.
The wind rises.
No.
It's the one about the airplanes.
Yeah. Sad movie.
You wouldn't know you fell asleep.
Hey.
Oh, y'all watched The Wind Rises?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a long time ago, and
It's
about
great.
like 3/4 of the way through, Liam fell asleep, and I had to watch that sad ass movie by myself.
It was
Well,
a
I
good
can
bit. I
relate.
could still find it was sad. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't that exciting.
No,
it was
Wow.
really sad that he fell asleep.
It was.
Compared
Wasn't
to
that
the other
exciting.
Ghibli movies, it's very mundane.
Super good. It's
Yeah,
it's
no, I
probably
love
my favorite of
It
all
is.
the ones that I've seen. But
It is my favorite Ghibli movie.
Wow. Favorite Spirited Away, but okay.
Yeah, that's the basic answer.
Yeah, I know.
The fake
I'm not a
fanning.
real fan.
Yeah.
I like what's it? Howl's Moving
Howl's
Castle?
Moving Castle?
Moving
Yeah, I
Castle.
like that one.
You know what you would really like, Scott? You'd really like Porco Rosso.
Is
It's
that
about the pig pilot.
Yeah,
He's in Italy during their fascist thing.
right?
Their fascist
kind of-
thing.
That brief phase they had in the 40s.
Right, that whole Mussolini thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
World War II, no big deal.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
it's
dead.
another sausage.
it was one of those times.
He's an actual pig that flies planes.
Yeah,
It's just
Is that
No one
also a
else is a
Ghibli
pig.
film? Or
it's also a Ghibli film. It's fantastic. Anyways,
Also, as the Dro/Raven Queen gets closer, I'm gonna draw my rapier and move into a
Oh.
defensive stance.
Very
not-
good idea.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like be aggressive towards her, but I'm gonna be ready because I don't know what to expect from her.
I don't think you can draw your rapier in a non-aggressive way.
I mean, I'm obviously going into a defensive.
I feel
stance.
like if you draw a rapier, you're just automatically required to go on guard.
Hello, my
I-
name is Indigo Montoya.
The-
You killed
The
my...
thing is I don't necessarily want her to go on guard because I'm not planning on attacking. I'm just planning on defending if she attacks.
I don't think you... I'm gonna...
I'm not saying that I have any disillusions about winning. I just am not going down without a fight if she decides to try to attack me.
So just this time, you're gonna not go down without a fight. But all of the times before that, when you ran away, just
Have you not been paying attention to this whole character development thing that I've been doing over the past few weeks?
man, I guess not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
6 weeks in the Feywild.
That's
Try
true.
3
That
Oh,
is
it was
true.
3 years.
Yeah, it
Let's
was.
start
Yeah,
walking.
Well, for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
right.
the part that matters.
It was like
Oh,
1
no,
hour for
I
me.
was only in hell for a month.
See, same thing.
I guess I'm gonna catch up and walk a couple steps behind her off to the side and go, may I ask what your plans are now that you've been released from your prison?
Oops.
So, with without losing step, and without sort of looking at you or really acknowledging you in any way or shape or form, sort of nonchalantly,
Murders
Yeah.
you.
Oh, fuck him and forget him, I guess.
just vaporize. No. She says, it's time to reassemble my kingdom.
Oh,
And now we take over the world.
how innocent. The reassembling of a kingdom.
So you're not seeking revenge for the person who sent you to hell? Or will that come later?
She kind of cackles, and she holds up her sword kind of in front of her and sort of twirls it in her hands a couple of times, and for the first time since commanding you to bow, she looks at you, and her eyes are just alight with sort of a glow, and she says, "No one sent me to hell." And she continues walking.
I'm
No.
Good lord, just let her go.
If you love her, then let her go.
I want to know how she got to hell.
I think Ulfgar could tell you, sir.
I think essentially Ulfgar got duped.
Probably, but she got me out. Ask where your kingdom is?
Still not looking at you. Still walking away. She says, "You're standing up."
Oh. Oops.
Told you this was a bad idea.
I mean, everyone's gone already and probably dead.
I'm pretty sure she meant the world.
Rough translation.
We don't know for sure.
Two things. I want to ask her how she feels about liches living in her kingdom. And as we walk, I want to spend a minute to observe her and
Oh,
learn her stats and capabilities. If I can.
I think you can learn. Was it 1?
I think it's 2.
Is it 2? Okay.
Spend at least a minute observing or interacting with another creature outside of combat.
She
Got 2 characteristics: strength, dex, con, AC, or HP. Or class or fighter class level.
you should do both level and fighter class level.
she
I'd like to know her current HP and her AC. If I get a choice.
she kind of laughs at your first question. The lich thing. Cackle, I guess, would be more the word. It's still really not. It's sort of like a. I don't know. I don't even really know how to describe it. Which is not a good thing to do when you're the. Boy, it's like when a rich person in a movie that's a bad guy sees poor people doing stuff and does that like really condescending laugh. It's like that.
Oh.
Liches, nothing. You know what? I support her.
Well, if she's
I
gonna
like
go
this.
after Jimmy, I mean, I won't stop her.
You
Jimmy
ask-
is
after
more
an
just
ant
like
in your yard.
yeah. This is a literal deity.
She's like, you know
Presumably.
what?
Presumably a literal deity. I mean, that might just be like, how the ninjas kind of hyped up their own abilities, sort of thing.
You
You
asked
should
for
test her on that.
you asked for AC
AC and
And-
current HP.
current hit point. She has an AC of 21. And she has 180 hit points.
Yeah, we could take her.
Weak.
Yeah. Weakling.
Plus whatever damage immunities a drow queen gets, and
Bitch.
I have no higher level spell slot, so let's not like do anything stupid.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pick a fight.
Would
I'm not
supporting
talking about
her
either.
and her actions and choice to take over the world make me evil?
Almost certainly. I mean, you probably are already.
I mean, we'd probably have to discuss it a little bit, but yeah, probably.
Well,
Okay.
guys.
Then I'm evil.
it was her leather or her armor pants, wasn't it?
It was.
She does have
The-
some rockin' jeans.
Like, I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you, I
okay.
guess.
Yeah. Classic Liam.
Day, do you see what you've done?
The big dick energy is the one convincing.
Yeah, I do.
Your great art has turned Liam into something else.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he was already something else. So
Yeah.
Hey, what? Wow, homophobic. Scott's been homophobic.
Yeah, Scott,
to
is
me
that what
these
you meant, huh?
past 2
Uh,
weeks.
what do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, other people?
Once Ulfgar and the Raven Queen sort of walk away, because he has to like walk with her for a full minute. I'm going to sheath my rapier and take out the Regent's journal and begin to look through there and see if there's any clues as to well, I mean, now we know what he was doing, but see if there's any entries on what he was up to in Brookhaven and why.
Yeah, why was he trying to pull her out of hell? Maybe.
Or,
Um,
you know, like...
If he even knew, because he didn't have the other swords.
Maybe he just supports her.
Maybe he's like one of those dumb criminals that writes in their diary, like,
So
213, robbery happens, sort of thing.
Before I get into this,
Hmm.
has everyone agreed that they're not going to try and fight the Drow Queen?
Yes.
I'm 100% not attacking.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
attacking.
I'd like to insight check her to see if she's good or evil. By good.
Are you fucking serious, Taylor? Look at her.
Do you
face.
really need
I'm
to?
gonna
at her
save you
look.
a roll.
Yeah.
She is evil.
Well,
Straight up.
She is lawful good.
Yeah.
She's actually here
Just
to
trying to
spread the
get
word
her
of power.
kingdom back.
I mean, don't judge a book by its cover. I mean,
That's true.
she
mean,
could
I
be
don't
the
really
savior
think-
that's supposed to like bring about, a new golden
She-
age or something. But
She could be exactly like Doctor Doom. Just
just a really bad name choice and
Or
disgusting
Yeah.
bitch face.
Strange.
well, and like stepping on a few to save the many, kind of a deal.
Gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Doctor Doom is a very interesting character, despite his terrible name.
She could
But-
also be like the
For no-
goths that hang out at Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
they're
just wears
mostly
a
nice.
lot of black, and they're nice.
Unfortunately, no. She is.
Oh.
So everyone is then in agreement that that's not going to happen, or is Ulfgar gonna?
I'm just gonna ask her where she's off to first.
My destiny.
Hmm. I think, yeah, she. So she's still not looking at you, obviously. Sort of just, yeah. We've covered that pretty thoroughly. And she just says, I'm going home. And then she says, gonna be gone. And she sort of flicks her hand over her shoulder. Make a dexterity saving throw.
$17.
Yeah. So, a wall of force hits you in the chest, and it throws you back about 25 feet. It's not. It doesn't fling you like you don't ragdoll through the air. You kind of slide on your feet, sort of resisting against it, maintaining your balance. And yeah, you leave like a trail of like foot drag marks in the grass and soil.
Guys, I got
that
an idea for soap shoes.
Yes.
Just all of a sudden, yeah.
Soap shoes are what killed her.
Yeah, I guess I'll just stand there and watch her walk away for now.
Okay, so you've you've decided not to attack her.
Yeah, I am not going to attack her.
Okay, and no one else is gonna attack her.
Nope.
No.
No, I feel like you really want us to attack her, and this is like your please attack her thing.
No, not the case. merely need to know for the rest. So okay, so you definitely no attacking.
No
happening.
attacking.
Okay, everyone gets 800
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Timing. Pretty good on this one. Yeah, so you thumb through this notebook, and that's exactly what this is. It is a book of notes that the regent has been taking. And it goes
Whoa.
back quite a ways. Quite a ways indeed. To a little bit before the Baron was murdered. In fact, way back then, before that happened, the Baron had sent sort of a what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, a group of people, a
Envoy.
squad, I guess.
Brigade.
Sure. To figure out what was happening in one of the small fishing villages along the Great Lake there, and when they came back, there was only about half the number that was sent, and the regent's not real particular. He doesn't really care that they died, because what they brought back was a stone tablet, and the hieroglyphs, I guess, that were carved in this were glowing, and the son of a fisherman sort of stumbled upon this, and upon touching the text on the stone, was horribly disfigured, and the Baron had ordered it to be destroyed, and he passed the responsibility of that onto the regent, who did not destroy it, as it turns out. He instead, in secret, worked very, very hard to decipher what the text said, and it was a drow story. And there's many pages of notes on him slowly deciphering what this tablet said. And his translation isn't totally complete, but it's pretty close. The tablet was damaged, and some of the text isn't there, so it's kind of fuzzy. But the gist of it is more or less the story that you guys were told by the drow guy, with a little bit of added detail in that the drow queen, at the height of her power, possessed the fully decked out sword, the one that Ulfgar just gave her. And when she was inevitably defeated, not a nice lady, the sword was split into its requisite pieces, the ones that you guys have had pretty much this whole time. And the division of the sword very deeply wounded the queen, and in order to not die, she sent herself to hell. She went to hell, and effectively, the sort of the end moral of this story was to whomever could bring the sword back together and give it to her, basically, would be granted a wish.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And was that wish wasted on getting Ulfgar out of hell? I mean, wasted's a harsh word.
Yeah, wasted is a pretty harsh word.
Great
Uh,
Ulfgar.
Yeah,
think-
way to waste it.
I think it could be more described as she tricked Ulfgar into wasting his wish on getting out of hell.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure if he was given the choice, he probably would have gone for it anyway. But yeah.
Does it say
Hey,
where and how he recovered the sword? Fourth sword?
Oh, you mean where he got the? Yeah, no, it does. It continues on. But I thought someone else was going to say.
I was gonna say, can she grant a wish before I do those things though, or is this like the genie and the "you can't get us out of here" type wish?
I think it's more like she can just do whatever she wants, really, as long as she gets what she wants. She had indeed already freed you from hell, right?
Yep.
But your actual wish was having, it not follow you, because as you had experienced, she'd brought you back several times.
Yep.
Yeah. So the completion of your wish was that.
Do you still have the eyeball on your chest?
So she
I don't know.
basically tortured him into wasting his wish so that the contract would be fulfilled with her on top.
I think she would say she manipulated him into it, but sure, tortured, I guess, works.
Okay.
So, the notes continue, and it sort of goes on, kind of a long tangent, Indiana Jones style, where he's sending people out to try and find these swords.
Into the bread temple.
He's scouring ancient texts to look for magical, stories of where magical items were stored and where things were hidden away in vaults and things. And any sort of one of these stories that he finds, he investigates it as fully as he can. And yeah, the bread temple was one of them, and he talks about that. And
It also explains the creation of the Black Rose.
Yep. And many of the books that he reads and the research that he's doing sort of indicates that like really powerful magical groups tend to sort of hoard and protect very powerful items. And so his great idea is if I kidnap enough of these magical people, eventually one of these groups are going to try and save a member of theirs, and he'll be able to sort of work his way out from there and figure out what's going on. And yeah, it sort of happens to him in a way. The notes continue that he accidentally kidnaps a mind flayer, and they're not real happy about that. But they kind of, they're able to discern his goals, and they sort of help him out a little bit. Every now and then, they kind of throw him a bone. They have access to completely different lore and stories and things that he could only hope to. And being from the Underdark, some of that is very drow related, and so he's actively hunting those. That's unfortunately what happened to Forrest with the Intellect of Valor. So that continues on, and he finds the sword on one of the expeditions that he sends out of the Black Rose. They were kidnapping a wizard from. Let me look. Where was that from?
Man, I inadvertently created Raphael perfectly to be a target of the Black Rose. Oh,
Was
man.
one of the wizards there a wizard that Hans met?
Possibly.
Because I remember in that story, I came back to his tower and there was a black rose on the door.
Rip.
Yeah, very possibly. There it is. Let's see here.
Is
That's
Gabriel
not-
reading all of this out loud? If we all gathered around to...
If he's
It's
not,
story
I'm
time.
looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, I'd be reading to myself, but I mean, I'd share all the information later.
Would you be mumbling out loud as you read?
You really want me to read this out loud, don't
No.
you? Don't worry, I'll turn it into an epic song later.
I just want to know how pissed I should be about the not getting a wish spell.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, you got it. You
well, I
just-
did, but
The wish spell would be nice to restore Siren Chest.
You know, or
I don't
wish
think we
the
get
Raven
that
Queen
spell,
back
though.
into her prison.
yep.
Yeah, I wish you were in Helga.
Yeah. So
I wish you'd
The-
never been born.
the wizard that had the sword that the final sword the region had
Right.
was from a small village south of Galadriel, and he was kind of on the lam from Brep. There's a story there too. The region's not 100% on it, but that's basically how you found him. Yeah, that wizard had the sword and clearly knew how powerful it was and was trying to use it to defend himself from the goons of the Black Rose and failed. And the regent got it. And from the very, very loose descriptions that he was able to get from the mind flayers and from some of the other artifacts that he found, that sword sure did look like the final sword. And so he seemed content in the knowledge that someone had put all the pieces together, but maybe didn't know how to summon her. And so he went on another little journey, sort of probing through the minds of the wizards and such that he found, and delving even deeper into books and lore to find out, how to get her attention. And he did. He found the spell to do it, and it's described in the notebook, and that's how that tower came to be. And unintentional side effect, it kind of burned down the city, but
Collateral.
he didn't really care. Nah. And the shades that it created out of his men, they served him, so who cares? The barrier that he had his enslaved wizards put up still held, and so he was fine with it. And that's more or less where the journal ends.
Did he say what he intended to use the wish on?
No, he didn't.
Okay. All right.
Which you would probably find odd.
Yeah. Unless he just didn't care about the wish and just wanted to be an asshole.
Yeah, I mean it's possible.
I don't have damn it.
Maybe he was into goth chicks.
If
Yeah.
you want to talk to him,
I mean,
Can you?
if you let me rest.
How long is the...
Also, I'm gonna hand the notebook to Ulfgar.
charge on that, or how long is the time that you can do it?
I can. Let's see. If the corpse has a mouth, it can answer 5 questions. It was only what it knew in life. I don't have the slots right now, though. I
Right.
had it prepared just in case we need to talk to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys, because the notebook it has a lot of other, it's got a lot of knowledge in it. So go ahead, y'all get You get 5 questions about the what he knows about the Drought Queen. Bearing in mind that it's not totally complete knowledge, but yeah, he's done a lot of research. Definitely more than you guys have.
Number one,
Not that that would take much.
does it
but-
say how she was defeated the first time?
Yeah, no, it's fuzzy on that. Even the tablet that he deciphered, the original one that sort of got him into it, it basically just says that she was sort of defeated, and in her defeat, the sword was stripped from her and broken into its requisite parts.
Do we each get 5 questions, or do we get 5 questions as a group?
Oh boy, I'll give everyone 2 questions. Just yeah, that's
Okay.
way more than 5, but fuck.
That's 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
It sure is.
question is, are the Drow usually allied with the Mind Flayers, and why
No.
would they? Okay. I guess my second question then would be, is there any insight into why the Mind Flayers would help him revive the Drought Queen?
Well, a wish is a very valuable thing. And that's sort of the motivation he assumes, because they didn't really share it with him, and I don't know that they would have.
They just wanted to yank his wish spell?
I think they basically just wanted, he thinks anyway, that they just wanted to kind of rob him of the wish.
Okay, I look around for any Mind Flayers who are just like poking their head around the corner. Like, oh, is there a wish yet?
No, you don't see any.
Separate from my 2 questions, are the Mind Flayers in your campaign setting more or less similar to traditional D&D lore?
I mean, again, we wouldn't necessarily know that.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're like traditional D&D lore.
Right, well,
And going by D&D lore, we probably wouldn't really know pretty much anything about Mind Flayers.
Yeah,
right. I'm not asking necessarily for my character, just like...
Right. Okay.
I mean, it is easier to, yeah. I guess, in what way do you mean?
Like, the whole, like, history of them once ruling over the material plane and then falling from grace, and now are kind of, like, bitter about the low spot in society that they now have.
I don't know about the first part, but definitely the bitter about where they're at. Yeah, that
Okay.
seems pretty in line with what I've got so far.
Okay. And then, like, as far as my 2 questions for Gabriel, my first question would be, where was the Raven Queen / True Queen's headquarters last time? Like, where did she rule from?
Yeah, that's a good question. So that's sort of like Atlantis. When she fell, she was sort of the force keeping it around, kind of a deal, and it got swallowed up by a mountain. And
Classic mountain.
yeah,
Fucking mountains.
Just eating shit up.
the regent doesn't really know exactly where that is. That was one of his sort of high priorities, was to find it, though, because he sort of assumed, maybe one of the swords could be there.
Right.
And he's sort of narrowed down a few potential places, but he's not, like rock solid on it.
Okay.
I guess not quite a question, but which direction did she walk?
Just sort of a straight line out past Ulfgar, past Gabriel and Gidget.
Like, is she heading back towards, like,
Gardner?
South.
south? Oh,
Oh,
So-
watch out, Wigston.
Well, I guess it's somewhere in Garnus then. If she was walking home,
Well, there are
Well,
mountains
maybe.
right here.
I mean, I
not
presume
to look at a map or anything and metagame.
Yeah.
This mountain looks pretty special right here.
I presume that she has more sophisticated ways of travel than just walking towards her mountain.
Yeah.
She might have just been walking for dramatic effect because
Oh, I wouldn't doubt
she
it.
seems like that kind of person.
I love her.
She does love the drama. She's a bit of a drama queen.
She just spilled the tea and snatched all of our wigs.
Damn.
So,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Is this stone something that looks like, the large stone that she came out of and the sword was put into? Does that look like something that has always been in this town?
No.
No, it was brought in. Looks like.
Yeah, that was part of the spell.
Okay.
Does it look like it's a piece of hell?
No. No, it very much does not look like a piece.
It looks like a piece of heaven.
Well, no. But it is a flower.
Someone
What if
asked
we
what
stabbed her with the piece of hell?
I was thinking about that
Right?
when I was standing next to it, and I went, I don't have it though.
Damn.
Just shank her with a rod from hell.
Now,
Did
I believe, and if he didn't, he did now, but I believe Bildar told you guys that could be made into a weapon.
Yeah, he did.
did we ever hear word from, like, when Slurn invaded Ardinia? Did we ever hear anything about them uncovering stashes of, or like a stash of a bunch of magic items or whatever? Like, did they ever find what the stuff that he
No.
was amassing?
So,
Because if not, then that's my second question: is where all that shit is.
right, and yeah, that's a very fair question. No, in fact, they didn't, and the reason they didn't is because he destroyed them. He
Oh.
destroyed every artifact that they collected that wasn't one that he wanted or was, able to use in some way.
Jesus.
Like it didn't benefit him directly.
All right then, Caesar, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I do remember him destroying that thing we got from the bread company. It was a silly item.
Yeah, the cape that would have let you guys fly.
What? All we knew about it was it like made you.
Well, yeah, because you never got it identified. I don't think.
Nope.
Yeah, no, we just gave it to him. I mean, I smuggled that deck of minor things out of there, but that's about all that we took, I think. Oh man,
Did Michael
Could
still
I-
have that?
He
yeah.
probably
Can
made
I
it
get that from
confiscated.
Michael before he leaves?
No.
Please.
All his stuff was probably confiscated.
Oh yeah.
No,
almost
he still
certainly.
had all of his robes and stuff on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but there was no way of knowing, like.
It depends. How thoroughly would Michael have gone to hide that deck?
I mean, he's not like going full prison wallet or anything. It was probably just in his bag.
Then he probably doesn't have it.
Okay.
They're
His-
like goats coming out of his ass.
His ring would be the only thing that he was like dead set on trying to keep hold of.
And he still had it.
They needed ways to cast magic and stuff.
Okay. Well, there are my two questions. So,
I just want to know, did anyone ask what his wish was gonna be?
I did, and it didn't say. Strangely enough.
Right. So unless we wanted to talk to the dead,
From from what you guys know about the Regent and his ambitions, it was probably to be some form of ruler.
Yeah.
Yeah, power.
I mean, I feel like that would be a safe assumption for the party.
On a side note, the dagger that I got from him, is that magical in any way, or is it just a ornate dagger?
That is magical.
I'm going to identify it while everybody else asks their question.
That is a dagger of snakes.
Excuse me?
Every morning it replenishes, recharges of a poison.
Oh. I need to get to my notes on magic
Sort of a
items.
self-poisoning dagger. And it says in his notes that if she fucked him over on the wish that he had, he planned on using that on himself.
Okay.
Oh.
Does Val know about this dagger? What its magic does?
That's up to Gabriel.
I
I believe Gabriel can also identify that.
Yes, I can. Does it need to be attuned to?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I learn anything about the nature of the poison that it creates?
It's 2d6 poison.
Okay.
Why, you think I want to kill myself?
I mean, in
I'm
general.
afraid that you'll do anything that will harm you.
No. I want to die, but I'm not, like, in a rush, you know?
Suicide watch.
And it's not a sweet +3 weapon like the sword?
Sadly, no.
That's
Okay, 'cause
unfortunate.
I would just assume that the reason he would plunge it into himself wasn't because, he wanted to kill himself. It was because he had some cool thing that he could do with it. Right? Because that wouldn't kill him.
I mean,
outright.
anything you do with
What?
something called the Dagger of Snakes is going to be cool.
True, maybe he
I
would turn
don't-
into a gigantic snake, and I just didn't want Val to try and
Oh,
turn into a gigantic snake by
I mean,
stabbing
he
him.
already
Yeah.
can.
Polymorph.
Yep.
I can turn
He
into gigantic
Went through
thing.
great lengths to make sure that his polymorph on himself better.
It wasn't a great length. It was taking a feat, okay?
Well,
Which
you
is
took
a
a feat
good
over.
feat.
I mean, it is a good feat, but you did take a feat over like an ability, which
was
is
it?
also really good. So,
I
Yeah.
always
my-
do that.
Strictly
Jeez.
better than most feats.
Well, I would have just taken my DC to 16, and that's just like
It would
one
also
better.
made
Your attacks
Like-
hit one more,
Yeah.
and your damage do one more.
Right.
Well, only if you have Agonizing Blast.
yeah, well, whatever.
Because magic attacks you don't add your ability modifier to.
Oh, right.
I think doesn't it improve your your hit chance though too?
Oh,
Well,
it
yeah.
improves your hit chance, but that's it.
Yeah, that's
you're-
still pretty good.
Yeah.
You know,
The more you
especially
hit,
since
the
you're
more you
fighting
win.
harder to hit thing.
Okay. Well,
But I mean, it is. I'm not shitting on your feat. That is a good feat,
I mean,
It's
I
good that
especially
you're
think-
for
not
someone
shitting
who
on his
casts
feet.
magic pretty,
Yeah.
exclusively.
You'd have to wash him.
Right.
And-
well,
You guys still have a few questions. I think.
yeah. I think I'm the only one that asked both of mine.
No, I asked
no, I
both
think-
of mine as well.
Golfguard did his.
I thought he only asked one.
I thought he followed that up with another one, but maybe not.
I asked which direction she walked away, but
Well, yeah, that doesn't really count.
and then how she was defeated the first time.
Right.
I can't think of
Hopefully you guys are
another.
keeping track of your own questions.
Yeah. I can't think of another
What's your
great
favorite
one.
color?
I would just be curious if his son was mentioned at all in the book.
Yeah, actually, it was. And the page where it's written that he was killed is kind of warped with it got wet.
Oh.
Oh, what a sicko!
Oh. He was crying, obviously.
Good. Fuck him.
Is it safe to assume that now that the Regent's quest is over, the Black Rose is probably over too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we did something good.
Well, at one point a few weeks ago, I wrote down like our main game objectives, and now I'm crossing off all the things that we crossed off in the last 2 sessions. So find and kill the Regent of Tingaria, find the 4th Drow Sword, kill and confront / help Michael, and destroy the Black Rose are all done.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
Not really a question. Our plans after this are to take the body back to Tangaria.
Yeah.
Notify that there is a Drow Queen running loose.
I think it's safe to call her the Raven Queen now.
Raven Queen. Oh.
Yeah. The Regent wasn't a bastion to call her that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I mean, we should probably like keep a lid on that, except to like the
Well,
higher up.
We could just say that the Regent did it, not us.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily for that reason, but like, I'm certainly not gonna go into my hive mind and be like, the Raven Queen is free and the world is doomed, because that's probably not gonna help anybody.
Well,
Just
nobody
hear
knows who the
screaming.
Raven Queen really is, right?
I mean, I feel like I could definitely be wrong here, but I feel like a part of the communication is like intent, not necessarily just the words that I use. So people might be able to link what I'm saying to the stories that I linked to the Raven Queen and whatnot.
Yeah,
But-
They're gonna check his sources. I mean,
Yeah, essentially.
this isn't a Wikipedia article. Come on now.
there's no little hyperlink at the bottom of his song.
Yeah.
click here for more information on the Raven Queen.
I ninja edit like Raven Queen poo poo head. And everyone's like, get a load of this.
Smash that fucking subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell.
Not really sure what that has to do with Wikipedia, but okay, yeah, sure. Why not? Subscribe to that Wikipedia page.
No,
About-
subscribe to Gabriel.
Right. Oh, I see.
GabrielTheBard.com.
Tib is a bit of a hive mind, I suppose.
Are there any wizards left anywhere nearby?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Are any
We
of them
murder them.
are any of them strong enough or capable enough to fully mend a bag of holding?
Asadi. Yeah, we got magic out the ass now.
I think it's not so much a matter of if they're, powerful enough, more a matter of it requires materials that they probably don't have.
Shit.
I think if they had the materials, yeah, probably.
Oh,
You might want to see your favorite magical helper guy
Little build
later.
oh,
Raphael's an artificer by trade. We could probably ask him. Can't escape my grayscales.
I thought he
I
already
mean,
left.
again, it's not that they can't. Like,
Right.
there's definitely people around you that could. It's like
Right.
I don't know that you
I
would be carrying
imagine-
around,
Right, and I
Belfred
imagine
and stuff.
his stuff back at his workshop in Ghent has probably all been destroyed or raided by the Black Rose.
Yeah.
anyone with
Maybe.
just normal mending that could fix the hole in the bottom so I could stick all 200 pounds of coins back in?
That
I mean-
absolutely could happen. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have mending. I can do
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Gidget's
Oh.
the freaking mending queen. What are you talking about?
That's
I just
only
can't
Not
100
only,
It's
pounds.
not
magical
only, yeah,
effects.
not only does Gidget put the whole bag together, it's cleaner than you've ever seen that bag ever.
And that's not with magic.
Does it have a little
Fucking
bumblebee
fuck.
patch over the hole?
Unless Gabriel is like behind
Yeah.
you casting prestidigitation.
Soiling the bag. Oh man, that'd be pretty great. No, I'm not doing that. As funny as it would be.
There's a little patch over the hole that says my other bag is buzzing.
Ah! Please no.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put all 5,000 coins back in the bag.
Okay.
One by one.
Yeah, just count it.
With a spoon.
Almost 6,000 coins back in the bag. Anyone need some pocket change?
I'll take some. Shit.
Sure beats the hell out of pocket sand.
Does it? Does it?
Sure. I'll give
Yeah.
Val 100 coins. 100
Nice.
gold.
That replaces what I lost to identify.
Oh yeah, I totally deducted that when I cast it on the dagger. Da-da-da-da-da.
Sure, I'll redistribute.
So, any more questions before I lose you guys?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Are we casting Preserve the Dead on Regent? Why?
Yeah, I was gonna do a funeral rite. It just lasts what, 10 days?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Plenty of time to get back to
Yeah.
Tungaria.
Yeah. Cost me 25.
Bless
I'll
you.
pay for it.
Aw, there's a cute little fox.
Oh.
Was that who coughed?
No, that was me coughing.
He just passed and it just rudely coughs at him.
Yeah, I mean, literally, that's what happened. But yeah, at the same time I was coughing, I saw the little ears poke up over the side of the ditch.
The
I
only
just
thing,
that I do the
Happy-
ceremony very not as nice as my rites usually.
9 days it lasts.
That's still enough time.
Yeah.
I want to reattune back to Whoosh and the belt.
Okie dokie.
Ha, too bad I have the belt.
Haha!
That
I am
doesn't
now
help
going
you
to
in
be
any
the
way.
strongest bard.
Alright, I'm
Oh,
gonna
man.
lose you guys.
Alright.
Okay.
Thank you for the session, Scott.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody had a good time.
Oh
I
yeah.
did.
I
You
did.
know, I'm sure everyone else did. I had an awful time, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, fuck
Fuck
you,
this.
Scott.
That sounds about like Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
man. Hey.
And we lost him.
And we lost him.
Oh, rip.
Nice, Scott.
Bye.
Now that Scott guy's gone.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
shit on him.
So do I get my belt back or no?
As fun as it would be to like play keep away with it, yeah, you can have it. Just hold it above your head with mage hand indefinitely.
Yeah, sorry about making you burn, Ulfgar.
I mean, he didn't leave us much choice. I mean, I
You
know
gotta-
that he didn't have any choice, but
You gotta boil some eggs to make a good breakfast.
Boiled
think-
egg.
I think Ulfgar understands why I was doing what I did.
Yep. Well, I asked you to, so
Yeah. Although, like, I'm low-key really glad that you beat me to the sword, because I was not looking forward to being possessed.
Yeah.
well, I wasn't
Oh, man.
possessed. I was
I
just
was not looking forward to being compelled. to summon the Drow Queen myself. Although if I had done it, we would have gotten another wish spell. God damn it! Son of a bitch.
Sure about that? I feel like she would have found a way to.
Oh yeah, I probably
I
would
was
have
gonna say,
died.
Haven't we
But-
learned our lessons about wish spells yet?
That was
I
just
still.
that was a one-time thing.
I mean,
It was just because Gabby's an idiot.
I'd still be willing to try to find another one. But try to help with Siren Chester because that's a huge, huge, huge mistake.
I mean,
Okay. It's gone. It's in the past, Gidget.
No, it's. I will never forget. I don't forget anything.
I don't.
Water under the bridge.
I mean,
There's no bridge.
I
There's
feel
no
like
water.
I feel like going back to retroactively change something is probably going to lead to more bad things happening,
Yeah.
whereas like proactively trying to stop something bad from happening in the future is probably the best choice.
They all come back and they're just screaming.
Like at this point, they've already moved on. Like, I mean, maybe not. Maybe they're just entrapped in eternal purgatory by the Lich guy.
Well, if you
Jimmy.
could free the souls, then. But
I mean, kill Jimmy, free the souls,
yeah.
possibly, or
break his phylactery, and they all go free.
By the way, that was my patron that did that. Siren Chester.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
What?
it was
Wait,
brought
what?
on by Jimmy, but it was Nyarlathotep that did that.
Why are you just throwing this out there? Like,
Because
think
now
that's-
it's a while ago.
stream's still going, so that's on tape.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
What'd you
Yeah.
say?
you can't backpedal now, bud.
Stop the stream.
What did he say?
It
Nothing.
was his deity who wiped out the entire city of Siren Chester.
Siren Chester? Oh,
Well, hopefully,
just for fun?
having-
that other than Val.
hopefully having a unicorn in our court will help against the Raven Queen.
God, I hope so.
A very powerful unicorn, I might add.
I want a talking unicorn.
Sorry, my patron.
I
You
wish
should
I
have
could-
become a Celestial Warlock first.
I'm gonna say goodnight to the stream though. Good night, stream.
Good
See you
night.
next
Night.
week.
Oh, I did have a question for Scott.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Watch tomorrow's D&D. It'll be auto-hosted.
boy. Spooky.
Oh, that's right. You don't play with us on Saturdays. God damn
Nope.
I feel
God
like this
damn it,
session,
Omega.
I'm a busy boy on Saturdays.
it. That's unfortunate.
all work and
Good
no
night.
play.
Yeah. I guess I'll be streaming then. Son of a bitch.